They met long ago, a boy in school and his teacher. But close in age, they spent most of their time not learning history, but talking about music and fucking around. Years later, and still not particularly grown up, they're trying to relive those nerd-out sessions. Please humor them, or don't.
Hi, I'm Sean.
I'm Andy.
How you doing?
I'm good. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So today's topic, top 5 track threes, kind of following off of our last theme of top five final tracks. I gotta tell you, this one, super easy, but super hard.
Yeah, see, we talked about doing top 5 track twos because we thought that was more of a thing.
Yeah.
And then that's why we didn't choose that, because it's a thing and there would be way too many choices. And then we came to realize that track threes is kind of a thing too.
Well, and I read an article, or I read reference to an article, I should say, that explained why track 3 was so important to bands.
Okay.
And that is now with digital listening, or when you go into a record shop and you can pre-listen to things, people will easily listen to the first 2 tracks. But if you want to keep them interested, you have to have a good third track, because people will skip over the first 2, assuming, and they'll go to the center of the album.
Right.
To see, should I listen to the rest, or are they expending it all in the first 2?
Makes sense.
And I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and his contention is, if you want a real good album, if you want to see the true test, you skip to track 8.
Okay.
And if an album, if a band is going to spend time having a good track 8,
yeah,
then it's probably something you want to listen to.
For some reason, I have a memory of thinking that track 7 was important for whatever reason.
Yeah, probably the same.
But
type
something
of
around
thing.
there, 7 to 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
Track 6, 7, 8 kind of thing.
Yeah. And when I was doing my research, of course, the first thing I typed in was top track threes. Surprisingly, nothing really on the internet for that. Okay. But what I did find, and what may be an interesting topic for the future, is top 3 track run on an album.
Ah, okay.
Which
that would take more time.
That would take more time.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I thought that was a pretty cool.
Yeah, and also I noticed there were a lot of like track 2 and 3 groupings. Like this album had track 2 was awesome, like a fan favorite, and then track 3 was the single or something,
Right.
Or vice versa.
Yeah, it's so here's how I did my list, and it's not a complete list. Years ago, I decided if Rolling Stone is going to keep making a top 500, I should have my own top 500.
Yeah.
And so I made that. I have a top 500 track list.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just started going through them. And I was like, is this a track 3? Is this a track 3? I mean,
that's a good way to start. That's good.
Yeah. The problem was I got to like 25 freaking songs that are track 3s, and I'm only through
page 3.
Right? I'm only through like 100 of my top 500. I'm like, shit, this is gonna. So I was like, you know what? This is good enough, because some of these are fantastic.
Yeah. What I did is, like, I think I told you, like, at first, I just kind of started lazily looking through some of my CDs just to see, just to start the process. And I was like, oh shit, there's like 7 right here. These are awesome. And then I was like, okay, I'll put these aside. And then I just kind of started going off of memory. And it turns out I remembered a ton. I was like, oh yeah, Built to Spill. Track 3 was awesome. this band, I remember that track 3 was awesome. Was that track 3? Yeah, it was. And then all of a sudden I had like 10 more.
Yeah.
And then I started doing some actual digging and I found more. But yeah, it happened so fast. I found them so quickly.
Right? Like so the tough part of this wasn't finding awesome track 3s. It's now I got to bring this down to 5.
Yeah. So how did you do that?
I haven't.
You haven't. Okay.
So
my
yeah, go ahead.
My basic plan was, so it's okay to have some nostalgic stuff, but I also want to have like some new finds, some recent finds.
Yep.
But most importantly, do I have anything remotely interesting to say about this song?
Well, I think in the end, I'm going to go off of more recent finds. I kind of want to highlight some new stuff that, and I guess because I'm getting old, new stuff to me is like within the past 10 years, because that's new to me now. You know, I'm kind of stuck in the 80s and 90s more or less. I don't find a lot of new stuff that I get excited about.
Yeah, so, my recent finds are also like old. It's old music, but it's new to me.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay.
Well, maybe only one of them. But anyway, yeah.
So, all right. Now, who went first last time? You did, I think.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So I will, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I'll get us started off. And I know I've talked with you about this band. I just think they're fantastic. It's not off of their newest album, it's off their first album, but the song Raise Hell by Dorothy, third track off of their Rock is Dead album. And let me tell you, it's great, just straight ahead rock and roll. Dorothy, the lead singer, her voice kicks ass. Like, yeah. It's powerful. It's just got this great rock and roll voice. And it's interesting with this particular song also because they put almost like a megaphone effect on her voice, which really adds to the rock and roll nature of it. And it's just a great driving rock song that I think is fantastic. And Dorothy is a great band. I think she's about to release her third album, and the first 2 albums are fantastic. If you just like balls out rock and roll.
Is it officially a band or kind of a solo project?
Well, so I guess you'd say a solo project, because she had, maybe a solo project, because she had a band that kind of dissolved. She took a little break, did some rehab for alcohol issues, I think, then came out with her new album with an all new band. Okay. And my understanding is that band is still with her for the third album.
Okay.
But like when you search on the internet and stuff, it's always Dorothy Band. So I don't know if it's
okay,
her or what the deal is, but she's the star of the show, most definitely.
Before the first band, before she took a break, was that also just called Dorothy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's fantastic. She's so good.
Yeah, you showed me some of that stuff when you came over.
Yeah, and I probably played you Raise Hell because to me, that's my favorite song of hers, and it happened to be track 3.
Perfect. You got lucky.
You got it.
Yeah. I think you showed me some live clips too.
Yeah, I think I probably did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Yeah. Where are they from? Where's she from?
California, I think.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, super good.
When's that third album, the new album coming out?
To be announced. She put out an EP recently, I think last year. But the EP was just one new song and then reissues of 2 older ones.
Okay.
Or 3 older ones. So I'm looking forward to the new one. She's already released a video for it, for one song off of it. And she takes a huge image adjustment, which is interesting. But
Oh, really?
yeah. But
Like she doesn't look as rock anymore or something?
she went goth.
Oh, well, that's
Like
cool.
it's dark.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. So but she's fantastic. Her voice is phenomenal.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually having a hard time deciding where to start.
Oh.
Okay, I'll start with this one. So this is a new find. It's new and it's also a new find. But when I was digging into South African hip hop over the last couple of years, I discovered Eugen Blackrock.
Oh, you told me about. Yeah, I've listened to some of that.
And she's actually, I didn't know who she was until recently, but she's actually been kind of known overseas for a while, it seems, especially in Europe.
Okay.
And she was actually on the Black Panther soundtrack.
Oh, really?
She got featured on there. Yeah. And so I discovered her a couple years ago, and then she came out with a new album a couple years ago. And the song that really hit me was the third track.
Okay.
And it was the third track that made me want to actually purchase the album, actually like go onto her Bandcamp and buy the CD,
Right.
And it's one of I love the whole album, but it's track 3 is one of the songs that I would just like repeat over and over again. Like I'd be on the train, literally just play again.
Right.
Like I just couldn't get enough of it. Another little fun fact. So some of the lyrics are, let the rhythm bring peace to your bubbling heart, a firefly that shines like the sun and lights up the dark, kind of cool. And like the production's really dark and like mysterious.
What's the name of the song?
Picture Box. Sorry. Yeah.
Picture
track
Box.
3, Picture Box. And it's Eugen Blackrock, the album called Anima Mysterium, 2019.
All right.
And like the whole album has this really dark, mysterious production. And her lyrics are really sort of psychedelic and philosophical and like cosmic and like kind of deep and like cryptic sometimes as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, when that chorus comes in, it's like, kind of therapeutic. And so I would always listen to it. And she or one of her crew members, I'm not really sure, actually signed like the inside of the CD. It didn't have her signature on it. It just had like an inscription. So I don't really know who did it, but it probably wasn't her. She's too busy,
Right.
but those lyrics were written in the inscription, and it said like, thanks for the support, Sean. And I was just like, yes. I love that song. But yeah, so that's one of them. Really cool purchase from a couple of years ago.
Nice. I remember you introducing me to her last year, it must have been.
Yeah, I was probably still crazy about it last year.
Yeah, sure. And I listened to some. I don't recall this specific song, but I've written it down in my little book that I keep for everything. I'll definitely check it out.
She has there's a clip on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel called Colors, and they invite singers or artists, performers to play just in this room with a microphone hanging from the ceiling.
Oh.
And like all the videos look the same. It's like,
right.
I think the room is red and like there's a microphone hanging from the ceiling. And she's got one on there, and I think she did Picture Box.
Okay.
So But if you just type into YouTube like Colors Eugen Blackrock, I think it'll come up.
Nice.
And yeah, she nails it. She's so cool. She's a rapper. Like, wow. Like, she can really rap. She's got bars. Like, she's super cool. Yeah. I'm kind of in love with her.
Well, now I'm definitely gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, for that reason only.
For that reason only, I need to listen to this song.
Cool. So that's the first one, I guess.
All right. I've been thinking about my list a little bit, and I may, well, we'll see how this goes. But my second one is, again, another within the past 10 years group off of their third album. But again, straight ahead rock and roll. Some of their stuff can be pretty heavy, but the Pretty Reckless. And another female singer, but off of their third album, Who You Selling For, the song Take Me Down is this great kind of bluesy rock thing. But again, another female singer with a phenomenal voice, Taylor Momsen is her name. She started out as a childhood actress. If you ever watched, yeah, she was little, what's her name? Lucy Who in the Jim Carrey, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
Oh, wow.
She's the little blonde girl in that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, she doesn't look like that anymore. Now she's full on rock and roll.
Cool.
And again, she's got this great voice, great grit to her voice, but the Pretty Reckless are a kicking band. Like, it's not like, oh, we're going to have a female singer and then put some guys behind it. Like, they're a legit talented band, great songwriting. They released their fourth album last year. And when I was going through for this, because I'm told, like, the Pretty Reckless are my thing lately. I just love them. So I was like, okay, track 3's on Pretty Reckless. And I was like, okay, Make Me Want to Die, one of their best songs. Next album, Heaven Knows, another great song. And So It Went, another great song. Like, all 4 of their albums, the third track is killer. So then it was like, which is my favorite third track of theirs?
Right.
And Take Me Down is the song that sucked me into the Pretty Reckless. And it just super cool, bluesy, kind of dark, but kind of not. Yeah, fantastic.
I'm remembering now, I think when you were showing me
when I showed you Dorothy, I probably showed you the Pretty Reckless.
And you were telling me that you were going through like a thing. You were actively seeking out like female fronted rock bands or something, right? Or
yes.
You were you were like only listening, or not only, but you were listening to a lot of like female fronted stuff for like that period of time, for that year or whatever.
Yeah, and I still am, because I look at my collection and there's not a lot of female artists.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's kind of ridiculous, because there's a lot of fantastic female artists. And so I was like, you know what? I just need to kind of dive in and start listening to more of it. And as I did, like,
you found some new favorite bands.
I found some new favorite bands, and really Dorothy and the Pretty Reckless are really high on that list.
Cool.
Yeah.
You read that that God Save the Queen's book, right?
Yes.
Because that was kind of, because I kind of did the same thing with hip hop. I was like, everything's been men so far.
Yeah.
But like I knew that there were good female MCs. I just didn't know, like I didn't know any of them. So that book was very helpful.
That book was incredibly helpful. It reignited in me some that I had kind of looked over. Like, you know, I've told you my knowledge of rap and hip hop is stuck, you know, but reading that book, I was like, oh yeah, I got to go back and re-listen to some MC Light. And
yeah, she's awesome. Like that was a discovery for me. Like she's one of my favorites now.
She's awesome, you know, but then there were others that I was like, how did I miss this? But that book was also really interesting in highlighting how there haven't been that many female rappers because they don't get a chance within a given crew, or each crew only has a spot for one female, you know?
Yeah, and they wanted to have a female on the crew, which is good, but they didn't really use them.
Right. Yeah, right.
As much as they should have. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a fascinating book. And I'd go back and listen to Debrat and Bahamadia and stuff like that. Just fantastic.
And you know, Queen Latifah is one of those people, like especially if you're my age or younger. I mean, it's really easy just to be like, Queen Latifah, what? She's an actress? Oh, she used to be a hip hop. She used to do hip hop, whatever.
Right.
You know. And then you listen to it, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, right.
She was awesome.
Whereas I'm like, Queen Latifah's a rapper.
Right. Yeah. And I'm like,
and then an actress.
I'm like, oh, that 90s, yeah, whoever, you know. That's how I was, you know, but like, no, she's for real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt, yeah, like reading that book, I was like, wow, I'm stupid.
Yeah. Right.
But that's why it's a good book, I guess.
Yeah, it was a good book.
I want to read it again because I'm sure I've forgotten a bunch of stuff. There, like every page, basically, I was listening to. I was adding 3 more songs to the queue on Spotify so that I would be, you know, I want to hear what I'm reading about.
Yep, exactly.
It took me forever to read that book because I was stopping every 2 pages to listen to 4 songs. You know, like she mentioned a lot of stuff really quickly, you know.
I was like that with Questlove's book and with the Beastie Boys book. I was like, what? Wait, I haven't heard that. What? You know, and you're like, okay, no, I need to stop reading. Go and listen.
Yeah, it's a textbook more than just like a poolside read.
Right? Right?
Yeah. It's studying, basically. You're learning about this entire thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's a sign that I'm an old man now. I choose books that teach me stuff.
Damn. Damn, if only you could have done that when you were a student.
Yeah. 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 What can I say? I thought I was going to be a rock star. I mean, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, I was wrong. Look at us now, famous podcasters.
Oh my God.
Was that your second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're up.
All right, this is another recent find, but it's old. So this one's kind of funny, but
okay.
So anyway, the group is called Half Dead Organization.
Okay.
And the album is self-titled. And so they're like an obscure Houston gangster rap group.
Okay.
From the 90s. One of my things recently is I kind of want to find the most obscure gangster rap. Like,
okay.
I want to find, I'm always Googling like most underrated, slept on, Bay Area, H-Town, wherever gangster rap, you know, because a lot of that stuff's really good.
Yeah.
The market was so saturated, so there were a lot of really good groups that made 1 or 2 albums and no one cared as much as they should have, and then they just didn't do anything else. So I discovered these guys, and it's like straight up like awesome Houston gangster rap, but it's hilarious. So this also, the third track, Wicked,
Okay.
was the song that made me want to listen to more.
All right.
And it was also, again, the song that made me want to actually own the CD. It took me forever to find it. It's rare, and I won't tell you how much it cost. But I own it, and I'm happy.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah. But this song is really interesting because, okay, so the production. Imagine, it's going to be hard to describe it without making it sound terrible, but but it's not terrible. Okay, so the production, imagine a cheesy 70s or 80s like rock song, but the karaoke version.
Okay. Yeah.
So like, you know, those karaoke drums.
Yes.
And the guitar sounds like a crappy synth.
Yep.
And like
it's totally MIDI.
It's a terrible karaoke version of like maybe even like a Japanese like old Visual K song.
Right.
From like the 80s or something. And on top of that, you've got like 90s Houston gangster rappers just like spitting.
Okay.
And it's like really cool.
Well, it sounds
really
like
cool.
such
I'd heard nothing like it before. I was like,
sounds
wow.
like such a contradiction.
Yeah. And the whole album kind of has that MIDI, you know, electronic kind of production to it. And it's all like kind of fast and really hard. And it's a really interesting album. And yeah, track 3 is probably the best song. And it's the song that made me want to hear more. I was like, wow, what is this? I've never heard anything like this. On my journey to find the most obscure gangster rap ever, I found this. And it's a gem. It's cool. It's very unique.
I'll take a listen to it.
Yeah, I actually don't know what you'll think. I can't guess. I think you'll laugh and be like, oh, I see what he's saying. But then after that, I'm not sure if you'll like it or not. You know what I mean?
Right. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm very hit and miss. I'm very picky when it comes to rap and hip hop.
I can understand that. I mean,
the oddest things, I'll be like, oh, yep, that's it.
Yeah, sometimes you never know, right?
Right. So that's why you got to listen to everything at least once.
Yeah, I mean, several years ago, I wouldn't have thought this was interesting at all, you know, but like,
right.
More context, I guess. Like having heard more hip hop, I can place it a little better, I guess.
Right.
And it sounds like Houston, basically. I mean, the style of rapping, and you know, you can hear the accent. You know, you can hear the Houston, the
sure.
H-town. You know.
Yep.
So it's good.
All right.
Next.
So I'm gonna switch genres here, but I'm gonna stick with female singers. And recent female singers. A friend of mine put me on to Yola Carter.
Yola Carter, never heard of her.
She just goes by Yola. And it's this fantastic mix. Her voice is like soulful Motown, almost a gospel-y soulful, but it's country music. And
from England.
Is she?
Right? It says, yeah. So yeah, it's funny because it's like she's from Bristol, England, and the genre is country soul. It's like, what?
yeah, but hey man, England puts out some phenomenal soul singers.
Oh yeah, soul. Yeah, I'm not surprised about soul. Yeah, but like the country part.
The country,
like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool. Yeah.
But the third track off of her Walk Through Fire is called "Ride Out in the Country," and I think it was the lead single released off of that album. But it's just this. It's just a feel good song. Like it's a perfect, like, cruising in the countryside summer song with the windows down. It's super laid back. It makes you happy. Her voice is fantastic. I'm a big Yola fan.
I was interested in checking it out from the get-go, but now I'm even more interested because it looks like I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Dan Auerbach.
Oh yeah, Dan Auerbach from
the Black Keys.
Black Keys.
He produced it apparently.
Oh, okay.
Or he's on it. Something like that. He's a player, or he produced it, or something.
Yeah, she's also quite a good guitarist.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's this great song. It's country, but it's kind of not. Cool, chill, laid back. Her voice is perfect. If you haven't listened to Yola, you should, because
yeah, I think I will for sure.
You'll fall in love. Like, she's awesome. So that's my third, sticking with the female theme.
All right, I'm gonna totally different genre now. This is one that I kind of remembered when I was digging through everything, and I was like, oh yeah, I might mention this one. And I just accidentally pressed play. Wow, good thing you couldn't hear that. That was very loud. So the band is Deaf Heaven. And Deaf Heaven, all one word, Deaf Heaven.
All right.
And the album is called Sunbather. And the track 3 is also called Sunbather.
Okay. I have never heard of this before.
So basically the genre, I have a friend that really likes Deaf Heaven, so I don't want to mess this up. I don't want him like calling me later. Like, that's not what they are, bro. But at least this album
right.
is, it's shoegaze,
okay,
plus black metal.
Okay.
Death metal, black metal, maybe more like black metal.
Okay.
Plus shoegaze.
It's an interesting mix.
Yeah, 2 genres that I like.
Yeah.
But I'm not particularly nerdy about either 2.
Right.
Mix them together, and I love this. Like, this is like when you mix them together, all of a sudden it's right up my alley.
Right.
Like, beautiful guitars, fast drums. I love screaming. I love me a good screamer.
I know you do.
And this has it all. Like, the songs are very long. Sunbather's 10 minutes and 16 seconds.
Okay.
So it just starts off banging, and then it kind of goes down into like a chill, I guess, shoegazer rock kind of jam, and then it just pumps back in. And it's the title track. It's basically the theme of the whole album. It's 7 tracks, but it's an hour long.
Right.
So they jam. But yeah, I remember, so I picked up the vinyl and a long time ago. And I remember I was jamming to Sunbather, and Madoka walks in. Like, this is not even close to anything she would ever listen to.
Right.
And she walked in, she's like, what is this? I'm like, sort of like shoegaze plus metal. And she's like, it's good. I was like, right? She's like, this is good. I was like, I knew then that it must be pretty good.
Okay, I'll take a listen. When you said I know you love your scream.
Yeah, I love screaming.
I don't.
Okay. Shout out to Jordan Kyle Servin, the best vocalist of all time. Thank you. That's my friend Jordan. So that was pretty lame. It goes Jordan Kyle Servin, Chino from Deftones, and
right. Like, it sounds like an interesting mix, because I'm with you. I'm not shoegaze. I tend to find boring.
It's like, I like it, but I'm not gonna go crazy about it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy. Right now, I have a student. I share music with students all the time.
Oh, do you?
No, I wouldn't. I know you wouldn't understand that. But then they share with me because, I'm open-minded. I'll listen to anything. Yeah. And one student in particular is huge into shoegaze. So she's been giving me a lot of artists and songs to listen to lately. And they're good, but it's nothing that I'm like, oh, maybe I should buy that. Or am I really going to go home and listen to that again? Nothing has wowed really me. Yeah. But it's the same with metal. You know, again, a buddy of mine from school, teacher, huge into metal. So he's been giving me names of stuff and I've been listening. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I have to be in a mood.
Yeah, metal's, yeah, I guess I'm the same. Like, you know, friends have showed me certain things over the years, like this, Deaf Heaven. You know, Jordan's a big metal guy. He showed me a couple things that have stuck.
Yeah.
But, and I probably wouldn't even really be able to tell you why that one stuck. It's
right.
I like this one. I'll check that out further. I don't know why, but
yeah,
something about it. But yeah, metal's kind of hit and miss. I like some of it.
Yeah.
Shoegaze is the same. I mean, of course, I like My Bloody Valentine and like the obvious stuff.
Right.
But check out this new like shoegaze indie band. Like, check out their first EP. It came out last year. It's like, no, I'm good. I'm sure they're fine, but I'm not interested. You know.
Yeah.
Because I already know what it sounds like.
Right. Right.
It's kind of a dick thing to say, but I'm probably half right. Like,
well,
I can imagine what it sounds like. Yeah, to my
ear, exactly. like a metal person will probably be like, "What are you talking about, man? It's so different."
Right.
Let's keep this moving. I just because I've started it, I think I am gonna keep going. This is not new. This is actually an old song from the 70s. And it's not new to me, but it's newly rediscovered. And it's a song that I just can't get enough of lately. And it turns out that it's track 3 off of her Streetlights album. And that is the song Angel from Montgomery by Bonnie Raitt.
Bonnie Raitt, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Bonnie Raitt is phenomenal anyway. Like, she's a blues guitarist who can hang with the best blues guitarists, especially slide guitar. Like, she can hang with the best.
That's basically what my dad says. Yeah, he loves her.
Yeah, she is awesome. But the song Angel from Montgomery, it's originally a John Prine song, but Bonnie Raitt makes it her own. And it's one thing to hear John Prine sing it. It's another because it's from a woman's perspective.
Okay.
And so when Bonnie Raitt sings it, just the female vocal, it's a beautiful song, kind of tells a story. It's just, Angel from Montgomery is just a complete song to me. And I'll stick with my female artists theme here. And I've been obsessed with, I can't listen to it enough, probably over the past few months. It's just that great of a song. Yeah. And if you haven't listened to much Bonnie Raitt, you should.
No, I mean, I only remember, I mean, I say I remember, but I barely remember just that single from when I was in elementary school. I don't know. That
yes, when she had it in the late 80s.
That song, you know, she has that song. I can't think of it now, but it's that song.
Yeah. Well, listen to Angel from Montgomery, because it's like it's hers. It's okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, my dad's always been a big fan, but we've never actually listened to her together.
Okay.
That always ends up being the Beatles and...
Yeah. Be like, Dad, I need to listen to some Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah. Rosberg gave you some homework.
Yeah, tell him that.
Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. McGee, you need to sit your son down and show him some Bonnie Raitt.
Yeah, this is obviously a gap in his homeschool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he would perform way better if you teach him some shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my fourth one.
All right, so my fourth one, like, so I didn't choose Foo Fighters for the fourth one, but I need to mention that first.
Okay.
So I was thinking about the Foo Fighters album called There Is Nothing Left to Lose.
Yeah.
Which, in case you didn't know, I mean, that album. So I have, I've written a few songs before.
Yes.
And this album is why I even tried.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
So yeah, this album kind of, I mean, because Dave's a drummer.
Yes.
And then he went on to be like a songwriter.
Right.
So yeah, this album was always kind of that thing, like, well, maybe I should try. Like,
you mean
so,
you just skipped over Steven Tyler and Phil Collins? Also drummers who were songwriters, Don Henley.
Yeah, I mean, I knew
Levon Helm.
But they weren't relevant to me. Like,
I know, I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. But so this album, track 2 is a single, track 3 is a single, and they're amazing. Okay. But then I was like, wait a second. So this album came out in 1999. And everything was in real time. I was watching the videos before the album came out. And then I went and bought the album when it came out.
Right.
But also in 1999, there was this Mexican band called Jumbo. And they came out with their debut called Restaurant.
I have that.
And it was all at the same time. Like, I was watching the Foo Fighters videos. I was watching the Jumbo videos. It was all in real time. I bought both of those CDs when they came out.
Right.
They're both 1999. Like, I remember like that time in my life. And I kind of lumped the albums together. They're both, mainstream sounding rock albums, but they also have like some grunge.
Yep.
They've got the singles, and then they've got some really well-written other stuff. Not that the singles aren't well-written, but you know what I mean? A single's a single. They sound really similar to me. They're both from 1999. I just kind of lump them together.
Yeah.
And then I looked at Restaurant, and track 3 is their single.
Okay. And what's the name
which
of
was,
that?
It's called A Key.
Okay.
And so that was the video that I was watching, before the album came out. It's not necessarily my favorite song on the album, but like, that was the beginning, right?
Right.
And it's still a jammer. And I got to see them randomly. I went back to Houston years ago to catch my friend's wedding in Houston. And he was like, apparently Jumbo's playing at some border town, like, down near Galveston or something. I was like,
we're going.
Excuse me? Yeah. Like, I've flown all the way from like way across the world, and I get to see Jumbo from Mexico, like in South Tech. We're going.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. Like, one of the most memorable shows. So like, really small club in the middle. I have no idea where we were.
Right.
Really small live house. It wasn't full,
Right.
It wasn't full at all. So I got to see basically like the Foo Fighters of Mexico, like this stadium rock band.
Right.
In the kind of places that I play.
Yeah, right.
And like right there in the front, it was amazing. And I remember when they played, my friend Tyler didn't know their songs as well as I did.
Right.
But of course he knew the song A Key, because it was the single. So I remember we were just going crazy, like, yeah, like, I can't believe, why are we seeing Jumbo right now? This is insane.
Right.
Like, yeah. Also, fun fact, I named my turtle Jumbo.
Nice.
It's pretty embarrassing, but it is named after this band. So
what's
so
that you named your turtle Jumbo, or that you have a pet turtle?
Both. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I lumped these albums together. So I was like, oh yeah, the Foo Fighters album, I guess I should mention it. And I was like, wait, Restaurant,
Right.
They're just kind of the same. They're not the same album to me, but they're just lumped together.
Sure. That period of time just.
Yeah. And it's like, mainstream rock with some grunge, and then the same thing from Mexico sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like, they have a similar kind of vibe.
All right, so I'm to my fifth. So I did Raise Hell by Dorothy, Take Me Down by the Pretty Reckless, Ride Out in the Country by Yola, Angel from Montgomery by Bonnie Raitt. And I'm gonna break from the female theme, actually.
Okay.
I do have one other female artist on my list, Lucy Sproggan, third house off of, I think it's her first or second album, called Join the Club, called Lighthouse, is a really cool kind of acoustic-y song. It's great, but I want to highlight a Canadian band. In this song, they're newer, like I said, within the past 10 years or so. And I remember this is a song that I discovered just too late. It's called I Don't Know by a band called the Sheepdogs. Okay. And it's from their album Learn and Burn.
I've never heard of these guys.
Oh, you should. The song I Don't Know, I must have discovered it in late 2011. And the reason I remember so distinctly when I discovered this song, maybe early 2012, late 2011, early 2012, my dad died in September of 2011. And I remember when I heard this song for the first time, thinking, holy shit, Dad would love this song. Like my dad and I shared, like he was a guitarist. We bonded over music. That was like my brother, my dad and I, was kind of our language was music. And I heard this song, it was like if I would have discovered this song 6 months earlier,
right,
this is what I would have shared with Dad, because he would have said, yeah, like this is fantastic. The Sheepdogs are a great Canadian band. They've won like Band of the Year and stuff like that at the Canadian Grammys. I can't remember what they're called. But this was probably their biggest hit. I don't know, maybe. But the lead singer has a great rock and roll voice. The song is this great, it's modern, but it has a 60s throwback feel to it. It's just a super fantastic song. And the Sheepdogs, fantastic band. They haven't gotten out of Canada. I don't know why. But everybody should listen to the Sheepdogs. And I Don't Know, open up with that one, because you'll be like, okay, right on, let's listen to some more.
Cool. Yeah, I'll start with that one then.
Yeah, they're awesome.
It says that the band aims to land in the sweet spot between Zeppelin and Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
And you know what?
Do they?
They kind of fulfill that aim. Yeah,
that's a serious aim.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah. And then they actually kind of do it. It's like, oh, okay.
They're achieving it. They're
cool.
They're really, really good. But I do that song, just like anytime I listen to them, I'm like, I'd share this with Dad and he would love this. That's how I feel about the Band of Heathens. Like if I would have discovered the Band of Heathens just a little bit earlier, damn, like, yeah, Dad would have loved that. And I Don't Know is my favorite song of theirs. It happens to be track 3. So cool. I've got tons of others on my list, but I'm going to highlight that one.
Cool. That's a good one.
To round out my top 5.
But I'll recap first. So I chose, my first one was a song called Picture Box by Eugen Blackrock. Second was Wicked by Half Dead Organization. Third was Sunbather by Deaf Heaven. Fourth was A Key by Jumbo. So I'm also kind of a newbie with R&B.
Okay.
Something that I never would have thought that I'd ever be interested in. And not like the R&B that I was hearing when I was growing up.
Right, right.
But like kind of new R&B stuff. There's a South African R&B singer named Shekhinah.
Okay.
Shekhinah.
Okay.
And her album's called Rose Gold. And this was another one where the first song I heard was track 3.
Okay.
And it was her single, like her big single.
Right.
And I was like, man, that's such a nice song.
What's it called?
The song's called The Sound. It's really poppy. You can dance to it, but it's also really laid back at the same time.
Right.
And man, she's got such a beautiful voice.
Okay.
And a lot of the other songs on the album are like really laid back and very romantic and almost kind of sad. You know, she sings about loneliness and stuff a lot. So it's a nice album to listen to on your own.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful voice. But yeah, the sound, it kicks in with these drums, a little bit of guitar, and then she just starts singing. And it's like,
it just takes
you just immediately start moving. And the chorus is awesome.
I'll have to take a listen to that because I do like me some good R&B. Well,
and yeah, talking about, the sheepdogs never getting out of Canada, my pet peeve with, and it's not South Africa's fault, but the unfortunate thing is a lot of these South African artists don't get out of South Africa.
Right.
Because like you can't order a CD from South Africa because apparently it'll never get to you.
This is the thing. A lot of these artists that aren't in the US or the UK, I mean, really, let's be honest, those are the two popular music centers. Although I guess now you could say Korea, but that's only for a very specific
thing
or genre. But if it's outside of the UK or the US, it's difficult to discover new stuff and do that. But even if you're in the US, you're not going to hear a lot that's coming from the UK, right? Like,
not naturally, not right away. Yeah.
No, like there's stuff. I like Rizzle Kicks. You might like Rizzle. You need to put Rizzle Kicks on your list, but they're UK. I don't know. Are they rap? Are they pop? I mean, they're pop, but like it's pretty good. But like people in the UK have never heard of the Grateful Dead.
So
whereas if you're American, you're like, what? What did you just say?
I said so.
Oh, Jesus, Sean.
I mean, really? Is that really the most unfortunate example you can come up with? People in the UK don't know the Grateful Dead. Like, there's a better, you can come up with a better one.
Maybe, but in the US, they're so iconic.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I'm just giving you crap.
But the Grateful Dead are friggin' awesome.
My apologies.
Damn it. I'm just going to give some shout outs, and I'm just going to run down a list of other track 3s that I was like,
yeah, I guess we could do that. I got some good ones. Yeah.
Fantastic songs. So I've got Alive off of Pearl Jam's 10. Sabrina Paste and Play-Doh off of Jellyfish's Spilt Milk album. All the Right Reasons off of the Jayhawks, Rainy Day Music. A huge one, The General, which is kind of Dispatch's signature song, was the 3rd track off of Bang Bang. Rush, Closer to the Heart off of A Farewell to Arms. All My Best Friends Are Metalheads, my favorite.
There it is.
That make your list too?
Of course. I mean,
like it's my favorite Less Than Jake song, just happens to be track 3.
Yeah.
The song Vietnam off of Minutemen's Double Nickels on the Dime.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
OPP, Naughty by Nature. Like,
is that track 3? That's awesome.
It is. It's track 3.
That's funny.
Tear-Stained Eyes off of Sunvolt's Trace album, which I think is one of the greatest albums ever written.
You introduced me to them.
Yeah, I love some Trace, fantastic. Tear-Stained Eye, great song. Bore off of Jethro Tull's Stand Up album. One of my favorite songs of all time, Southern Cross, is off of Crosby, Stills and Nash's Daylight Again. Where the Boat Leaves from Zach Brown Band's The Foundation.
Ooh, Zach Brown Band.
And then I've got to give my usual shout out. I'm Only Sleeping is the third track off of Revolver. You Gotta Hide Your Love Away is the third track off of Help. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, third track off of Sgt. Pepper's. I mean, those are my shout outs. Just throw them out there.
Yeah, it's like when it gets into Beatles territory, it's almost like that's unfair.
Right,
like,
right. Let's just list every.
Of course, they make every list.
Right. They're going to. For me, I know they're going to.
Yeah, best last song, best first song, best track 3, best album, best, I don't know, singer.
Best whatever.
Yeah, it's annoying.
It's what happens when you're the best.
Yeah. Second best, because if you remember from the first episode.
I do remember that faux pas you made in the first episode.
No, I'm not going to apologize.
It's okay. It's okay. You think you're right. You're not. What else do you have on your shout out list?
I've got your little hood rat friend from the Dead Steadies Separation Sunday.
Yes, great.
I mean,
song.
That actually, I'm thinking, like, why didn't that make the final list? I don't know. But,
nice call.
Amazing.
I love that song.
Carry the Zero on Built to Spill's Keep It Like a Secret.
Okay.
Red Elephant on Sunny Day Real Estate's LP2, the pink one.
I was waiting for you in one of these episodes to mention Sunny Day.
Again, that was a gift from you, Sunny Day Real Estate. I still have the mix CD you gave me.
Do you really?
Of course, it's somewhere. Things like that, are hard to throw away.
That's true.
Broke from Modest Mouse's Building Nothing Out of Something. Okay. We Laugh Indoors, Death Cab for Cutie photo album. Yeah. Over the Hills and Far, Far Away, Houses of the Holy, Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Celebration Day, Led Zeppelin 3.
Yeah.
Learn to Fly, Foo Fighters, There Is Nothing Left to Lose.
Yeah.
All My Best Friends Are Metalhead, Less Than Jake, Hello Rockview.
Yeah.
Random I Am on Mellon Collins for Monkeys.
Okay.
And
nice.
I got 5 on it from Lunaz's Operation Stackola. I don't know if maybe the group name Lunas doesn't ring a bell.
No.
But I think you'll remember the song I Got 5 on it. It's like a 90s, I guess, like sort of gangster rap song, but it's like a G-Funk kind of song.
Okay.
Because something that's happened a lot to me when I've like kind of gone into like 90s rap, I'm like, oh, I remember this song from like when I was 7. Like it went to the chorus and I was like, oh yeah. Oh, that's weird. I remember this. Yeah, so I Got 5 on it is track 3 on Operation Stackola by Lunas.
Okay.
Listen to it, just see if you remember it.
I will. It's on my list. The 2 that won't make my list are going to be Modest Mouse and You Know How I Feel About Death Cab.
I don't, but why don't you remind me?
Sleep.
Okay.
Like just boring shit.
Yeah. My friend Diosano, he's the loop rider guy.
Right.
His comment about Death Cab was like, it just made me laugh for days, even though it's such a simple statement. He's like, it's too clean. And I was like, I like that though. but he means it as like a bad thing, so it just made me laugh. It's funny, like it's just too clean. I was like, oh,
I think that is part of my problem with it.
It's just clean. Yeah. It's
smooth.
smooth.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, Death Cab. I know you're a big Bright Eyes guy. Like,
I definitely was. I mean, I'm sure if I listened to those albums again, I would still like them.
yeah, that stuff never. I miss that stuff. I remember. I think it was at Lollapalooza. Death Cab was playing at one stage. Somebody else, they may have been playing at the main stage, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go check out the little stage. Like,
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. But
who'd you see?
God, I can't even remember.
If it was the Grateful Dead, I'm gonna hang up.
No, I've never seen the Grateful Dead.
I've seen The Dead, because after.
Have you?
Yeah, it was an accident. My friend and his parents took me to Willie Nelson's picnic thing.
Okay.
His like festival on his farm.
Yeah.
And I basically just wanted to see Willie Nelson. But The Dead played like a few bands before or something. I was like, oh, cool, The Dead. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
I'd still love to see him. They had John Mayer was playing with them for a while, and that's kind of
cool. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guitarist. I mean, say what you want about the pop star John Mayer, but I mean, he's an amazing guitarist.
He is an amazing guitarist, and he had a string of albums there that were almost like country-ish that are fantastic.
I've heard, I haven't really checked anything out, but I've heard that maybe you're talking about the same thing. He has like a string of like live albums or something, and it's just like blues, like it's blues rock,
Well, he had the the John Mayer trio.
Okay, maybe that's
the John Butler trio,
which is also a decent band.
A great band. Different continent. But yeah, John Mayer trio is fantastic because he has Pino Palladino playing bass and Steve Jordan on drums.
Yeah, I don't know who any of those guys are, but I saw a video and the drummer was amazing.
He's legendary.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And Pino Palladino's legendary bassist. Like, yeah. He picked
like that. I wouldn't mind going to that show. Like, I don't need to go see John Mayer playing his hits.
But
if he showed up at like some blues house, I'd go.
I saw John Mayer, so 2002, 2003, something like that. He was really good. I was like, I was like, I don't really, I like the song Daughters, great song. I love, stuff like, it's good. Do I need to go see it live? Meh. But I went with somebody, and first of all, I was at Red Rocks. My only concert at Red Rocks.
I'll see anything at Red Rocks. Anything.
Right. Maroon 5 opened up, who was also really good. It was their first album, and I was like, really? And then live, I was like, okay.
They're good musicians, yeah.
They are, but seeing John Mayer, and it was his guitar playing that just blew me away.
Yeah, he's good.
But so that wraps up this episode. What's our next episode? I think we should choose the topic at the end of every episode.
Okay. So the choices were like most beautiful songs / that you obsessed with at one point.
Well, it doesn't have to be like you could have obsessed about something that wasn't beautiful.
Oh, okay. So beautiful songs or songs that you've just obsessed about, or like top 5 pump you up songs.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the second one. Just in general, songs that you've obsessed over.
Let's do it.
Whether they're beautiful or fun.
Yeah, because there's no way that we can ask anybody else or go to the internet to research this one.
Yeah.
And I guess that's my thing, because I find myself being drawn to do the research. Completely subjective.
Which, by the way, viewers, up until now, it hasn't been. It's been correct opinions.
That's what I mean. Like,
right.
But let's be real. When even this next one, mine are going to be top 5 songs you should obsess about.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.